All right. Well, my name is Darren Horness. I work for the Kurt Joa Company in Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin, and that is very close to my hometown, which is Howards Grove, Wisconsin. Um, how I originally heard or came into contact with Mike Lawless was through my engineering manager. Um, and to be honest, I'm not sure how that interaction started, um, but I was introduced to Mike to work together on a, let's say, very challenging and very advanced project for the Kurt Joa Company. Okay, so the services provided to Joa through the Lawless Group was a pretty extensive list, actually. So we started off with a ideation process with a large group of people. That was really a fun learning experience for Joa, something we weren't used to doing. And it was really pretty amazing how efficient and how quickly the process worked itself through. And then, of course, they provided lots of technical resources, both from design perspective, mathematics, kinematics, FEA analysis, basically anything that you'd possibly need, during any stage of a development project. Mike's got quite an extensive network. I think my favorite thing about working with a Lawless Crew was that it felt very much like a family and a close-knit team. The chemistry of the group was really exceptional. And even right from the beginning, everyone got along and fit together really well. And I think that goes back to Mike's team selection process, looking at personalities and fitting and finding the best match. But yeah, just right out of the gate, everybody fit together really well and worked well together. Well, that's a little bit difficult for me to answer because I haven't worked with, I guess I've not been exposed to another company like Lawless Crew, and maybe that means the Lawless Crew is that unique. Um, but for Joa, it was completely a unique experience. Just the whole process was something that was new to us. And the process, like I had mentioned before, was very efficient, very quick, and very thorough. It seems almost impossible to give anyone a 10, but I mean, it really, I have absolutely no complaints of any kind. The whole process has been fantastic. So I guess I have to give you a 10. I would absolutely recommend the Lawless Crew to anyone who is looking for assistance in design or analysis. Um, the experience has been great, and the network resources that are available through the Lawless Group it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, sure. So this project, I mean, it was completely different than any other project that I've worked on. So typically, a Joa project, we get pulled in a lot of different directions. So we might have a project that's a high priority on the schedule, but we're still going to get pulled to answer questions from customers. We're going to deal with problems on the floor or equipment that is failing, and generally the schedules tend to slip. I mean, that's been a chronic problem, and there also isn't the level of organization and teamwork. There's traditionally been a lot of shooting from the hip. There's been a lot of like the wet thumb engineering going on. Whereas with this project, everything, the Scrum process has been fantastic learning experience. The daily meetings, keeping everybody in tune with, and it's so brief. A 10-minute meeting every day keeps everyone on the same page and keeps everything flowing in the right direction. And even if there are other interruptions, that Scrum process just seems to really keep the focus on the project at hand and keep it moving in the right direction. Well, definitely. I mean, and I think it's honestly something that, I mean, just as engineers, everyone here at Joa would love to operate that way all the time. But the big difference here was that with the Lawless Group, the resources exist. Like no matter what the question was, the resources exist to answer that question with confidence. Whereas for the Joa crew, I mean, there's a lot of engineers here, but you know how that works. If you don't use it, you lose it, and you get into something that's really technical, and then we're basically either forced to make a best guess, or try to reach out, and without already, without having those connections, that can be very time consuming. And then of course you run into the schedule conflicts. And so the best guess becomes really the common habit. Yeah, I think they're all very impressed and a little bit, I don't want to say amazed, but they're certainly surprised, because I don't think any of them believed that we could maintain the schedule that we set out in the beginning.